Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take the complete finished build here of the Tamiya Sand-Viper out now for its first test drive. As you know, if you follow my channel, I did a complete build video on this in stages. It wasn't every step, and I kind of skipped a little bit at the end that I probably should have included, but you know, I'm really happy with the way this thing turned out. And now this is with the 3300 kV Google RC brushless kit, these really inexpensive, like $40 kits, on a 60 amp ESC that's inside of here, sitting right in here. I'm going to run this on 2S, so it's not going to be nothing crazy. This can handle 3S, the ESC can, but I don't know, you know, I want to be gentle on this at first to make sure that this can handle 3S. You know, 3S is really could be putting a lot of strain on this system since this was designed for, you know, a 540 size, just basic brushed motor. So I'm going to take it out and drive it around here today. I really I hate taking these new cars out and getting them all dirty. We had actually a lot of rain yesterday, so the dust ought to be down. And I'm going to drive a lot of it on the pavement. Now, being mindful on something like this, these little spiked tires, these will wear off pretty quick when you drive them on the pavement. So I'll be driving on the pavement and up into the grass just to see how it goes. Now, I believe in the build video, I mentioned that at the end of the video, I think I mentioned that whenever I drove this around in my basement, which is very little room, just to make sure it, you know, was set up right and it moved, it sort of stutters when I first give it throttle. So I don't know if the ESC maybe needs some reprogramming, or maybe I swap another ESC in there, because this is really inexpensive, cheap knockoff electronics. So we'll see how it goes. It just sort of stutters, and I know it's not the Dumbo RC system, because I've used this in other cars and a boat, and it was perfectly fine. So it's something probably with the ESC. We'll see how it goes. It seems like it was okay. It just doesn't go immediately with the throttle. It kind of stutters, and we'll see how much of an issue that is. If it's a big issue, I'll probably swap a different ESC in, because I don't have a program card. I need to get one of those, but that may not be what the problem is. The program card may not fix that at all. So let's go ahead and turn it on. You can hear it beep, and hear the fan fire up. So it's beeping. Go ahead and turn on the controller, and it stops beeping. We're bound. We got some music there. All right, we should be good to go. So let's try that and see what it does. See, it kind of stuttered there. See that? Whoa, nice. So just a bit of a stutter. Let me try that again so I can show you guys. Yeah, it just doesn't, there's just a delay. Obviously, if this was something I was going to be doing competition with, then that would be an issue, but just for bashing, it's not really a big deal to me. But yeah, it's just a bit of a delay, and I've never seen that with these. I have several of these Google RC kits, so I'm not sure if that's just some of the ESC. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments, because I'm brushless stuff still sort of new to me, and like I mentioned, I don't have an actual brushless ESC program card. This doesn't have the buttons on it like some of them do, where you can do some controlling or programming with a button. See, it's slow to get going. Now I'm using a 19. Well, that's pretty quick. Ooh, nice. I'm using a 19 tooth pinion, so it's going to have really good acceleration, but it won't have as much top end as a 17 tooth. Let's see. Let's just. Yeah, it's really. Well, that's moving really good. Really spinning out quite a bit. Wow, that's faster than I thought it was going to be. That's only on 2S. I got to think that's over 30 miles an hour. That might even be up close to 40. This is probably going to be somewhat similar to the HSP buggies around this size that runs somewhere around then on 2S, and on 3S, that thing does, you know, 50 miles an hour. Let's just see how it handles some jumps. Now this is just two-wheel drive, and there's no slipper clutches or anything like that in this gearbox, so you know, it's putting some torque on it. But these big This gearbox is supposedly pretty rugged. From what I read, people are having no problem running brushless with this system. Look at that. This is impressive. This is what I was hoping for going brushless, because you can't get anything near what I'm seeing here on a brush motor. Whoa, it rode a wheelie, and I've never seen that on a buggy before. That was awesome. This thing moves on 2S. I can only imagine what this would do on 3S. Man, that is really quick. On the 17 tooth, we'd even hit a higher top speed. Wow, that is impressive. As far as I can tell, I did not glue the wheels and tires to the rims, because sometimes you get on these, they start to balloon up or they start to slip, and I'm not seeing any indication of that happening. On my Durga, my Tamiya Durga, even on 2S, the wheels sort of the tires sort of ballooned a little bit, or they kind of came off the rim on them a little bit. And then on 3S, I mean, I had to super glue them down because they just ballooned up and were literally coming. I think they actually came off the car. But I wanted to try this and see if I needed to. I don't see any evidence that I need to glue down the tires. Which really, if you don't, you need to use something like, if you're going to glue the tires down, I've heard that like shoe glue works really well, and it cleans off the rubber well. Because if you use super glue, man, it is so hard to use that and not get it all over the tires, and it looks terrible, and you can't get it off the rubber. But yeah, this looks great, man. That is really fast. Man, I don't think that's going to be a whole lot slower than the HSP was on 3S. I said 30s. I really think that might be closer to 40 miles an hour there. What I think I'm going to do is I've got a speedometer, you know, I can put on here. And I think I was planning on doing a speed run on this, but not today. I just wanted to make sure it works good and runs perfect first, and it does. So what I'm going to do is I will make another video with this where I'll put that little speed reader in there, and we'll see what we get on 2S. From what I've heard, people have no problems even going to 3S. I'm just a little worried. Now 3300 kV is not some insanely high kV motor, but man, 3S, it's going to really be, it's going to, doing a speed run, because I have to ease into it, it's going to really want to do that, slide around and stuff. I think 3S would be, we can probably try it for a speed run, so I may be tempted to, if I can find, problem is I don't know if I have a 3S battery that'll fit in here. They may be too big. One of my old CX20 drone batteries might work. So that was really stuttered there when I gave it throttle. See, it just, we'll have to see. But I wouldn't suggest 3S for a bashing session with this. I think it's going to be pretty squirrely. It's going to be hard to keep it in, you know, the control of it, especially on pavement. Maybe if you got some different tires. It looks like I got wound up in some grass. Everything, oh, it got out. See, it really spins when you even let up the throttle. I'm not braking there. So again, I think 3S, you can do 3S with this, I think. I mean, from what I've read. But it would be something, it would just be more just to get a hot top speed test. I don't think 3S is going to be easy to control for bashing around like that. I think you're going to end up flipping the car, running into, smashing into something. And again, since this uses pretty much entirely plastic, that's going to be easier to break. Thankfully, parts now are not hard to find, but it's still be a hassle if something breaks. So 2S to me, I think this is perfect on this size motor. I mean, this is way plenty fast enough for me. In fact, anything faster than this is not going to be fun for bashing. But if we just want to get a pure top speed test, you know, I think 3S, we might be able to do 50 miles an hour. All right, guys, I think that's enough running around here. And boy, the tires don't look bad. I was worried about these wearing down, because I used to do that on a lot of my kits. They would come with these off-road, softer compound dirt tires, and they wear bald. But some, if they're really bad, they'll wear bald, you know, wear off in the first run. I've seen, not necessarily on Tamiya, but some of the cheap stuff. And these look perfect. So the car looks great, no damage, nothing on that 2S 3300 kV system. So I'm really happy with this. I'm impressed because Tamiya doesn't build brushless AIM vehicles, but this one shows you can absolutely do brushless as long as you go conservative and don't go with a really insanely high kV, and probably stick with 2S for just your bashing sessions. All right, guys, that wraps up the drive review of the Tamiya Sand-Viper. If you haven't checked out the build tutorial, check back before this a few videos and you'll find that. That was a lot of fun building this. I'm going to try to get some more of these to build in the future, so stay tuned for those. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. I appreciate that. And as you do that, click the bell so you're notified when I do upload new videos. You get notified. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.